Alvarez is boxing's #1 star. Amir Khan has boxing's fastest hands. Saturday, May 7th.
Hard right hand by Canelo.
Unparalleled power.
Big time first round for Khan.
Unsurpassed speed.
This is my time. Let's do this.
Canelo versus Khan. See it live.
James Holder for Rifle TV in association with Matt KLITSCHKO. Quite fortunate enough to be joined by promoter Mick Hennessy, head of Hennessy Sports. We're here today for really the BoxNation link-up, Mick. You're back. Talk to us. What's happening?
Yeah, no, it's great. We've done a real good deal with Frank and Bill on BoxNation, and we're really pleased with it. We're pleased with their passion. We're pleased with their commitment to make this a huge event. And we're pleased with the fact that they're prepared to do things properly. They're not trying to ram other bullshit down our throats, basically. So, or other bullshitters down our throats, so to speak. So, yeah, really pleased. Myself, Peter, Tyson, John was really pleased with the deal we've done with BoxNation. And there's great passion there. So, we're looking forward to this event.
Tyson Fury will defend against WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO. July the 9th in Manchester on BoxNation.
On BoxNation, live and exclusive.
I mean, there must have been huge competition to get this fight from the other broadcasters. What was your final decision in choosing to bring the fight here, mate?
We had offers from other broadcasters, but and offers that people would consider really good offers. But BoxNation actually. They went the extra mile. They showed how much they wanted this fight. They showed how much they believed in it. They, they went the extra mile. They, financially it's obviously a great package, and from every other aspect, their commitment to it, their belief in it, and the fact that they want us to put on a great show, and they full trust in us doing that.
What are your thoughts on Anthony Joshua potentially fighting on the same night? We've heard rumours going about that could be the case. What are your thoughts on that, Nick?
I think it's just some idiot throwing his toys out of the pram. That's what I think. And I think anyone who backed that situation, anyone who actually, if a broadcaster went out of his way to do that, then shame on them, because at the end of the day, no one can be a winner. They can't be a winner doing that. No one can be. And the people who lose out the most are the supporters, the fans at home, or sitting in the venues. So it is what it is. It'd be crazy if anyone did anything like that. But at the end of the day, if they did want to do that, then the public needs to be educated about who the real deal is, who the #1 heavyweight on the planet is. They need to be educated, and they need to be told a lot of home truths, because there's a lot of hype and bullshit out there that just, is disgraceful, to be honest.
We've heard potential talk if Tyson Fury retains his title against WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO, we could see the unification clash between Anthony Joshua. As a promoter and as a promotional company, how up for that fight are you, Mick?
Well, look, Tyson has proved himself as a legendary heavyweight. You don't go and beat someone, a linear champion like WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO, in his home country, that's rising to the heights of the extreme heights of heavyweight boxing. You don't go and do that and then get dictated to by hype jobs that haven't fought at world level yet. Or not particularly. I'm not talking about any fighters, but I'm talking about the promotional team around them. So that's not going to happen with Tyson. Whatever we feel as a team is the right way to go, the right fight. It might be, after he takes Klitschko out, it might be the fact that we might think there's a blockbuster to be had in the US with on a massive pay-per-view stateside, somewhere like the MGM Grand. We might feel that's the route to go. The ball's in our court, so to speak, and we will do what's right for Tyson. But it's just, comparing him is an absolute joke at this stage. Anthony Joshua is a very, very, very good heavyweight prospect, but he hasn't proved himself as a world-class heavyweight yet. And for people to be talking about Tyson the way they are is wrong.
Is there any bitterness from Tyson's side or from the promotional team's side that Tyson didn't get to defend the IBF belt before he was stripped of it, and in which case Glazkov and Charles Martin then contended that? So in actual fact, Anthony Joshua then picked up that belt from that situation. Is there any sort of bitterness from Tyson and from yourself and from the team about that situation?
Well, it's a joke shop situation, isn't it, really? Let's face it, it really is a joke shop situation. I mean, for them to do that in the first place, the IBF, was just mental. After all them years, you get someone who beats the linear champion, the unified champion, and you splinter it straight away. I mean, that's mental. And then on top of that, two fighters like Martin and Glazkov. I mean, how was either of them worthy of that, fighting for a world title? How were they? How is Joshua versus Martin worthy of a world title? It's not. It's not for a world title. So, to me, I go to amateur shows week in, week out, and I see more passion, more commitment, more heart, more punch power at these amateur shows than I see in that fight. I mean, Martin's application in that fight was a joke of the highest order. It just didn't sit quite right with me. I don't know what was going on, but for people to be bouncing all over the place, making a big deal of it and shouting out Tyson's name is just wrong. It's a joke.
Who do you think will be a credible opponent for Anthony Joshua's first defence? Do you think he'll go in the deep end at world level, or do you think it'll be someone on the fringe of world level? How do you see that playing out, mate?
I think they'll go the easy route. I think they have to. But why not? Why not? If you're that serious about it, why not take on Deontay Wilder and then meet the Tyson Fury once he deals with Klitschko a second time?
After Tyson Fury beats WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO, is he got a direct mandatory obligation, or is it a case of he can take the biggest fights available?
Look, his mandatories are going to be creeping up on him, but there's always a deal to be done. And
does a unification clash overrule any sort of mandatory?
It does with most of the governing bodies, yes. It does. But, one thing I thought might come out today that needed addressing, and it didn't, was the fact that Silver Spoon Boy, at the end of his post-fight press conference the other day, turned around and said about if someone had a son and Tyson Fury being a role model. Now, I've got a 16-year-old son, as you know, and he's a clever kid, and he can fight as well. He's a good fighter. And if coming from, I'm talking about Tyson now, coming from an ultra tough background where very few people come through without having convictions for certain things or being in serious fights on the street, to actually come through a tough background like that and to be as clean as a whistle, not to have a record of any kind except for a traffic fine I think he's got up in Scotland. To do that, and also, he's never had, outside of the boxing ring, he's never had a fight. To be able to do that, and not only that, be self-made. He's a self-made man, and to self-educate himself as well. Because, as you can hear when he talks about things, he's highly educated as well, because he's educated himself. For someone to do all of those things, and to be super loyal in the process, have integrity and morals around the things he needs to, and to be honest, to a fault, to be fair, because it gets him in trouble a lot. His honesty gets him in trouble a lot. In this day and age where people would prefer people that lie to your face, work to a script, don't show their true selves, work to an agenda that a promoter might put in front of you. In this day and age where people prefer that, you know, someone like Tyson who's really an honest individual and gets himself in trouble on a regular basis because of it, it's all wrong. You know, someone like him needs to be applauded. Like my son looks up to him. He's 16 years of age. Absolutely idolises him, and I'm not encouraging that. He just knows what's what, and what sort of person Tyson is. He's a great person. He needs to be appreciated. He don't need to be put down by dickheads. And yeah, that needed to be addressed.
John Fury says it quite well. For all his sort of shouting, screaming and humour that he says in his sort of speeches and stuff, he makes a valid point. The levels of respect Tyson gets, and not from the boxing media, but from maybe the wider media in this country in general, it's appalling. It is appalling. Not the boxing writers, because they're writing about his achievements and his sport, but
Yeah.
some of the stories we've seen run on him since he's been a world champion is nothing short of appalling.
It's really bad. I can understand why John did and said what he did up there, because he's frustrated, as are we all, to be fair. I mean, the only one who was really laughing about it was Tyson up there, you know. But this is the thing with Tyson: you don't know. Like a lot of the time, he comments on where you think he's being really sort of contentious. It might be a joke. He might not be saying how he really feels, you know. But if you do get him on a level where he trusts you, he's a very, very honest person, and he's, as I said, it gets him in trouble a lot of times. And but that needs to be commended in this day and age. And for young fighters, young people coming through, he's gone on that tough journey and he's become heavyweight champion of the world. And he's done it against all odds, every odd you can think of. He hasn't had the backing, the true backing of the public. He really hasn't. So I just hope that happens now. I hope now. Well, it might take him to beat WLADIMIR KLITSCHKO twice. It might take him to knock him out, and I think then everyone will realise, you know, what he's made of, and what he'd do to the likes of Anthony Joshua when he gets him. He said about slaying the lamb, and I can tell you right now, that will be a very straightforward fight for Tyson, no question.
Mick, you've worked with some of the bigger names in the sport, the likes of Carl Froch, the likes of Darren Barker. How is Tyson Fury's journey been different to sort of experiencing world level boxing with the likes of Carl Froch?
It's been more enjoyable. Much, much, much more enjoyable, because the latter stages of some of them journeys I didn't enjoy at all. It was horrible to be around, to be in fact. So it's been enjoyable from start to finish. It's been a roller coaster. It's been hard. It's been tough, but we've all gritted our teeth together and made one and come through and done the right thing by each other. And that's what counts in life.
You found Tyson Fury from an unwanted amateur, a guy teetering on the brink of maybe not even dedicating his life to the sport. You've turned him over and made him the undisputed heavyweight world champion of the world. How does that feel? How does that feeling feel as a promoter and as a manager?
It's a big feeling of fulfilment, and it feels fantastic. I mean, it really, it's a dream come true for me and my family, for Tyson's family, Peter, and you know, it's something that you'll carry with you for the rest of your life, and your family will carry for the rest of their lives. So it's really, really special, and the fact that we've done it throughout really hard times, with lots of spanners being thrown in the works, makes it even more enjoyable.
How confident are you Tyson retains his titles and beats Klitschko? And this time around, two-part question, will it be more of the Tyson Fury show? Are you guys going to be dictating how thick the ring canvas is, what gloves will be used, where the press conferences will be? These little things that somewhat were out of Tyson's and your hands last time, are you now in control of these aspects?
Yeah, things are different now. Tyson's champion, so it'll be a very, very professionally run event where we'll certainly be doing the right thing. That's for sure.
Okay, listen, on that note, I thank you very much. Before I let you go, I want to ask you about Nick Blackwell, the People's Champion. Have you got any sort of update on Nick's situation?
I don't want to say too much at this stage. You know, Nick's great. I'm going to be with him this weekend, and I want him to address everyone himself.
I understand that.
Because we're not too far off that, and I'd like, you know, the first words about Nick to come from Nick. Yeah, I'm delighted with Nick's progress.
I've got to say, credit to you, your team, and everyone else for the decorum and the way they acted through Nick's injury and the after sort of care and aftermath of it all, because I thought you acted very honourably and in the best interest of your fighter. So respect to you for that, Mick.
Yeah, thanks, James. It was all about Nick and his welfare and his recovery, and that's all that matters. And you know, that first day when he opened his eyes, and the second day when he spoke, was was two of the great days of our lives. So that was great, and I'm over the moon.
On that note, wish you the best of luck with what you're doing. Hopefully we get an update on Nick, and we look forward to seeing the antics of Tyson Fury, Vladimir Klitschko, the build-up, the fun, the games, and Huey on the 30th, on April the 30th at the Copper Box as well.
Brilliant. Absolutely, yeah. No, Huey's coming on fantastic. He's looking so special in training. You only have to look at him, he looks so healthy. Can't wait for his fight on the 30th. He's going to shake up the heavyweight division as well.
Thank you very much for your time today, Mick Hennessy. I'll catch you again, top round.
Cheers, James. All the best.
Canelo Alvarez is boxing's #1 star. Amir Khan has boxing's fastest hands. Saturday, May 7th.
Hard right hand by Canelo.
Unparalleled power.
Big time first round for Khan.
Unsurpassed speed.
This is my time. Let's do this.
Canelo versus Khan. See it live